Okay, so here we go. We're working on gesture drawing. So again, this is not going to have a lot of detail, and the best way to do it is to actually be observing someone, because you want to be able to capture their the figure, the human figure, and whatever position that person is in. And it's also really good to be able to capture somebody who's in motion and moving, because you're drawing so fast that you're not focusing in on that person's hair color and eye color and shape of their face and all of that. It's just the movement and the position that their body is in. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of look out at you guys, and I'm gonna draw some of you as you're sitting in your desk. And what I'm gonna be doing is just taking a look at the position of your body, however you are happening to be sitting in your seat. Okay. You don't have to do anything special. Just keep doing what you're doing, and let your, you want this to have a very quickly done look to it. You really don't want it to look like you have sat there and outlined every single finger and fingernail on the person that you're drawing. And this is why this process is good for doing character studies and for developing character sketches, because it gives you the ability to practice something really quickly instead of sitting there and thinking of every single little detail. Okay. Now I'm going to just get the desk. So by just like darkening some of the lines, what I'm doing is just creating, a space for that person to be in so that it looks like they're sitting in their chair at their desk. Okay. Now this is a very loose, very rough drawing. It is not meant to show every minute detail. It's just meant to get something on the paper. And that's why this is good, because when one of the biggest things that stops you from being able to show what your idea is just your own self expectations of what you think it should look like. Okay. So by getting something done, you're actually skipping ahead in the process, and you have to allow yourself to make it messy, to let it look rough. Okay. So let's try another one. I'm going to do somebody standing. Okay. So, see how fast I'm moving my pencil? I am really not being careful. And again, if you're drawing from a picture, you can do it as well. You don't always have to be drawing from somebody in real life. You can draw from a photograph and do a gesture drawing. So if you want to develop a character based on maybe a movie that you've seen, or even a book you read or something like that, or based on a celebrity or whatever it is, go ahead and search up some photographs of who you want to base your character on. And just go ahead and in your sketchbook, try and work on this gesture drawing process. Try and really make sure that you're not focusing on details right away. Okay. Once you're able to capture that person's essence and the way that they're moving, then you can go back and you can start to add the details in. But what I should see is one page, okay, that just shows that you were practicing right now as I'm doing this demonstration. And I should see your character sketch on another page. Okay, so if you haven't drawn anything yet, make sure you try the process as I'm doing it. Try and just follow along. Okay, so I should see that you have tried it. somewhere on one page and that you have taken the time on another page to really develop your sketch. Just because you're drawing fast doesn't mean you're not thinking about proportions and, you know, trying to get the figure, the person that you're looking at, to have the correct proportions of their body. So you don't want to have a huge head unless the character has that. You know, you don't have to be developing these realistic characters, especially as, you know, as much, you could be as creative as you want to be with this. The whole point is to get it done quickly as you're trying it out and practicing. Okay. So try and fill up one page with really quick sketches like this type, you know, to have this type of look to them. Then move to your next page. Okay. Because this is really what we should be doing right now together in class. So as long as you're working along with me and following along, you're already getting this done. And on the next page, that's where you're going to develop your character. Okay. So this is where you can be, whoops, didn't mean to tear that out. This is where you can be a little bit more detailed. Okay. So if you're starting your character page and you're starting your character study, you're still starting with a gesture drawing, but make it a little bit lighter. Okay, start with lighter lines. You're still not trying to do a dark, solid outline. You're trying to just capture the way the person's body looks as it's moving through space or doing whatever pose the person is doing, if it's a person, because your character might not be a human. Might have some human qualities and some that are not, some that are supernatural. Okay, and the next, so when you're starting this one should really fill your page. And when I say fill your page, I don't mean that you're coloring everything in. I just mean that the composition and the size of your drawing takes up most of the space. Okay, so it's not a tiny little drawing in the middle of the page with lots of negative space around it. That's always what I'm going to go back to when I keep saying fill the page. Okay. That was your first sketchbook assignment, just to try to fill the page however you wanted to. All right. So I'm not going to show you the character that I'm developing because I don't want you to think that you have to develop the same kind of character that I'm developing. This is an open-ended assignment, but what you do have to do is show me that you practiced this process of gesture drawing, that you did fill a page with some gesture drawings. And again, this is during class, what you should have been doing, following along. Okay. And then you need to show me that on the next page, you applied that gesture drawing process, but you created a little more refined character study and developed a character based on some idea that you have. Take your inspiration from wherever you want. Okay, this is your sketchbook assignment for this week, and you're going to submit it by Wednesday night at 11:59. Okay, guys, that's it.